Hello, welcome back to our channel, and today we are at the not so sunny St Leonards on Sea in East Sussex, and we are visiting the Royal Victoria Hotel today, which is just behind me, and we are going to be sampling one of their afternoon teas. I've wanted to do an afternoon tea on the channel for a little while, and I've been hunting for the one that I found that would be the cheapest for us to do. We actually got an offer for this one, but I will chat about the costings and the pricings at the end of the video. But so far, this is looking like it's going to be the cheapest afternoon tea that I have managed to find in East Sussex. So is it any good? I think we need to go inside now, test out those finger sandwiches, munch down on those scones and see what we think. Let's go. So our afternoon tea is turned up. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it. It looks like we have got 3 different kinds of finger sandwiches. We have got a smoked salmon one just here. And looks like there is a nice ratio of filling to bread. Let's see. Squeezing the bread, it doesn't feel the most soft of all breads. Let's get stuck in and test out the first sandwich. So it isn't the softest of bread, which is a shame. I was hoping for some nice, soft, fluffy bread. I'm going to test a little bit of the salmon by itself, just to try and get the flavour of that. Let's do it with fingers. Smoked salmon's got a nice flavour. It is just a little bit of a shame that the bread is not the softest and doesn't appear to be the freshest. Next in our little trio of sandwiches, we have got ham and mustard. And immediately the white bread they've used in the ham and mustard feels a lot softer than the brown bread did. They have removed the crusts here. Yeah, crusts are removed for that proper afternoon tea experience. And opening up this sandwich, now that looks like some nice proper ham, not the thin honey roast stuff that you get in the supermarkets. A light layer of mustard. And again, the filling to bread ratio, I would say, is quite satisfactory. Let's see what this one tastes like. It has got a nice flavour. The mustard is giving a really fiery hit. You can really taste the mustard in there. Now, I like mustard and I like that kind of fiery, hot heat you get from it. If you don't, possibly not the sandwich for you. I would almost say the mustard is overpowering the taste of the ham, which isn't great. So that mustard is a little on the overpowering side. I'm just going to try some ham as much by itself as I can to try and get what the flavour is like, and that does mean scraping some of this off. Now that ham to me hasn't got the best flavour. It's not got the strongest flavour, which is possibly why the mustard is overpowering it a little. It's not unpleasant, it's not nice. It's just a little bit bland, I think. Yeah, a touch on the bland side for the taste of the ham. Could have done with a little more salt, a little more seasoning when it was being prepared. But then the mustard does provide the kick that you would want. Without the mustard, it wouldn't be the best. The final sandwich, dun dun dun, is a cucumber, and it looks like soft cheese. So not the most exciting, and especially for me, given that I detest cucumbers, I'm afraid I will not be trying this one. It won't go to waste because Wayne will eat both of these and I might steal his other sandwich in return. The bread feels relatively soft. Cucumbers are sliced quite thinly, so that does give the illusion of there being more, but they are sliced. Let me show you this one, for example. Now that is a very thin cucumber. I mean, I know they say about cucumbers on the eyes, but I reckon I can almost see you through that. So very thin on the cucumbers there. Right, I'm going to eat these and then we'll move on to the sweet things. So sandwiches have been polished off. The more I was eating them, the drier the bread was actually starting to get. So overall, not overly impressed with the sandwiches, but we are going to move on to these now. Now, is it scone like cone or is it scone like gone? I'm going to divide opinion here and I'm probably in the minority, but to me, it is scone like cone. If it was scone like gone, it wouldn't be here, and it quite clearly is. So there we go. Let's pull it apart. It is nice and warm as well. A nice warm scone, which I like. I have done a very uneven split there. Never mind. Let's pop it on the plate with the little bit of residual mustard. I'm sure the scone will be great with a little bit of residual mustard heat running through it. And of course, we also have some jam that appears to be strawberry. Could be raspberry, but I'm looking at the little seeds running through there and I'm going to say strawberry. And of course, the clotted cream as well. Now I imagine that there are some of you out there waiting, watching, going, is she going to go Cornish? Is she going to go Devon? Which is she going to go? Is she going to annoy the Cornish people or the Devonshire people? Cream first or jam first? I'm going to throw a wild card into the mix and I'm going to annoy the Cornish and the Devonians. Devonshire? Devonians, I think. And I'm going to do this. Now, some of you are probably looking, going, she's going Cornish. Oh my dear. But, so inelegant. That's how I'm doing it. And I know there's some of you out there now looking, going, how can you put that clotted cream to one side and not use it? What a waste. I just don't like cream. I never have, even as a kid. I love ice cream. Don't like cream. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I'm having it like this. The cream, of course, will come into play because Wayne will use it on his tiny little bit of scone that I seem to have left for him. I think I'll cut this one in half and share it with him. No, he's got his own one. I completely forgot about that. We've got one each. And I know this doesn't look necessarily super appealing to those of you that were hoping to get a taste of this, but I'm going to pop it on Wayne's plate and I will tell you at the end what he thinks of it with the cream. Right, as I said, it's nice and warm. Love a warm scone. Let's get it in the mouth. I like that. It's got a good flavour. It's nice and soft. The warmth definitely helps. Love the little burst of fruit, some nice sultanas or raisins. I think they're sultanas running through it. The jam has got a lovely sweet strawberry flavour. Tastes like quite a nice, good jam. Not one of those kind of cheap supermarket value range ones. It's got a good flavour to it. The scone is probably my favourite part of the tea so far. So far, that scone has absolutely been the highlight of the cream tea. Wayne did try the cream. He said the cream was really nice as well. A really good flavour, went really well with the jam, that lovely, thick, sweet strawberry jam. And to settle the debate, if anyone is interested, when Wayne constructed his scone, he went with the Cornish way and put his jam on first. Though, if I wasn't an idiot who didn't like cream, I've got to say I would have done it the other way. So I would have gone cream first and then jam. So we're a 50-50 split here. How do you guys do it? Let us know in the comments, especially if you are from Devon and Cornwall. Start some rivalry. Right, the final layer, I'm just going to do this because it feels kind of easier. And we have got a selection of muffins, possibly blueberry. I can see some sort of fruit poking in that one. A couple of macaroons and what looks like a bit of, I want to say like cornflake cake or Rice Krispie cake. And some tiny little chocolate brownies. I mean, that's not even one mouthful, is it? That's half a mouthful. What should we go in with first? Let's try this mini muffin. Are these homemade? I'm going to hazard a guess and say probably not. They just don't seem to have the homemade look to me. Possibly the brownies and the crispy, cakey thing could be. Macaroons in these, I doubt it, but I could be wrong. Right, shall we crumble this in half? See what it looks like. Oh, nothing amazing to write home about there, is it? Just looks like a muffin. What did it taste like? Does it taste like a muffin? Let's find out. Shall we put this all in the mouth and shut me up? Yes, let's do that. It's all right. It's all right. Still not entirely sure it's blueberry, but I think it is, looking at the fruit, more so than the flavour. It hasn't got the most intense flavour. It's quite nice and soft, quite nice and light and fluffy, but just lacking a little in the flavour department. There's a hint of fruit there, but it's not strong enough for me to tell what fruit it is. Still thinking blueberry, but okay, a macaroon. I don't know what is in the centre of that macaroon. Let's try and split it open. Could be some kind of curd, perhaps. So it could be a lemon curd macaroon. Let's just see what happens. Does it crunch nicely? It's a lemon curd macaroon. It's quite a nice lemon curd macaroon. It's got a nice flavour, a stronger flavour than the muffin did. Not the crispiest, crunchiest one, but it's got quite a nice flavour. Average to above average. Oh, I'm guessing that this is going to be a strawberry one. Let's see. That one's not got the most flavour. The lemon one is much better than this one, which I'm only guessing is strawberry or raspberry because of the colour. Because to be honest, I can't really tell from the taste. I've definitely had better macaroons in the past. Brownie bit? Why not? Don't mind if I do. So the brownie bite has got kind of that stodginess that you get with a brownie. But again, the flavour for me is just not quite what I would be hoping for. It's not unpleasant, it's important to say, it's not unpleasant at all. It's just slightly lacking in something. Yeah, again, I've had better brownies. And lastly, the cornflake cake type thing. Now, these are never my most favourite things anyway. I'm not the biggest fan of things like this, but we shall see what I reckon. Crispy, chocolatey, distinctly average, I'm afraid. I've just spotted this. I think it's a flapjack. Looks like a chocolate-topped flapjack. I just remembered I don't actually like flapjacks. What an idiot.
Start a recipe review channel. I don't like anything.
Even though flapjacks are not my most favourite thing, I have had them in the past, and this is just average. You can sort of taste the golden syrup or the honey, I think it's golden syrup, in the base. That is coming through. That's providing quite a nice flavour. On the whole, everything today, bar the scone, has just kind of been distinctly average. The scone was the only thing that for me really was good. So I think I better finish up my little plate of half-eaten treats, and then we'll do some summing up and give you our full opinions. So we are finished up and outside now, and what did we think of our afternoon tea? As you can probably tell, unfortunately, it was not the best. I was actually really disappointed in the overall quality of the food. Starting from the beginning, going into the hotel, it was a little bit tired. The decor was tired. There was a few things that looked a little bit run down. It was clean and it was tidy, just a little bit tired. And the restaurant itself, just a little bit tired, could do with a bit of a revamp. The lady who was serving us, now she was actually really good. She was one of the highlights of the place today. When we arrived, she had noted that we'd requested a quiet table and she sorted that out for us. Not that the restaurant was actually busy when we got there, but she did comment that we had requested a quiet area, told us we could sit wherever we wanted, so that was good. With the afternoon tea as well, she was quite happy to swap out my pot of tea for a Pepsi instead because I didn't want the tea today. So overall, she was really, really good, and she was definitely one of the stars of the show today. But when it came to the food, that is where we really felt a little bit let down. The sandwiches, starting with the sandwiches, now they were dry. The bread was dry, and the more I ate of the sandwiches, the drier they seemed to get. The filling ratio was good, with the exception of the cucumber one that was deceptive at first. It looked like they were a lot, but it was cut so thinly that there can't have been more than about, half an inch of cucumber per sandwich, if that. So yeah. Also, there was no egg and cress sandwich. Now, to me, that's just not good enough when you're doing an afternoon tea. We are British. We have our egg and cress sandwiches with our afternoon teas. So, a little disappointed that I didn't get an egg and cress sandwich. They could have done away with that cucumber one and put egg and cress on there instead. Moving on, the scone was definitely the best of that entire afternoon tea. The scone was good, and in fact it was the only thing on that entire afternoon tea that I would have said was definitely good and that I would want to eat again. Lastly, all those little, what do you call them, petit fours, little, the muffins and the little cakes. Not the biggest sizes, but more than enough actually, because I am feeling full. But the overall quality of all of them, again, it just wasn't there. To be honest, they tasted a little bit like when you go into the shops like Marks and Spencer's or Sainsbury's and you buy the tubs for like, 2, 3 for £6. That's what it tasted like. They didn't taste especially fresh. They didn't taste homemade, and they were just lacking. So overall, a really disappointing experience for us today, which I'm sad about because it's local to us and I really wanted to enjoy it. When it comes to the price, that is the other thing. Now, we paid with our Groupon offer £19.06 for the two of us. To me, I still think that's expensive for what we got. If we had not had the offer though, it would have cost us £29.90. Now to me, for the amount of food we got and the quality of the food we got, that is an extortionate price. £30 for what we had, I think it's too much. I know you're kind of going for an experience, but if you're going for an experience, you want the restaurant to be spot on and top notch as well. And I say the only thing that was top notch was the service. The restaurant was tired, the food wasn't great. It wasn't a top-class experience. And on that basis, I think today we are going to have to go with a very low score, unfortunately. And I am going to go for 3.5. 3.5. That is being, to be honest, that's being kind. Would I come back? No, I would not. Would I recommend it to people? Unfortunately, no. So that's all I can say for today. I'm going to go home and feel a little bit disappointed now, although at least I'm full up, I suppose, and we'll see you at another table at another time.